Hi everyone, it's Amy from the blog and the Instagram Healthy Petite. I thought I'd make a video today as I usually write my blog, but I've had a bit of a writer's block lately that I can't seem to get out of, and so I thought I'd sort of articulate what I've been thinking about through video. In light of NEDA Week in America, which is something we don't celebrate in Australia, although I wish we did, I thought I would do a video on finding your passions outside of the eating disorder and also recovery intentions. So finding your passions outside of the illness is something that I'm really facing right now. It's very current to my situation. Having dealt with an eating disorder since I was 8 years old, I find that my identity is really linked in with the disorder, and it's hard to know what's an activity that I enjoy versus what's an activity that the eating disorder enjoys. But this is something I'm working on, and it's definitely something that can be overcome. Sort of, people develop eating disorders, I feel, to sort of fill a void in their life. So for some people, it may be because of grief. Their mother or their grandfather may have passed away, and so they have this void that needs to be filled, and that's where the eating disorder comes along. It gives them something to focus on and concentrate and feel successful and have control over. Or maybe it was, they got abused, or even something as innocent as they wanted to lose some weight, they wanted to go on a diet. But anyway, everyone has this sort of void, and the eating disorder comes along and it fills that void, and it makes you feel very comfortable, you feel very safe, you feel okay. And I know that that's certainly how it was for me growing up. When I was a child, I was bullied a lot, I had depression, I was very lonely, and the eating disorder was a way for me to feel like I was sort of contributing to society. I don't know how. It made me feel like I wasn't alone, and that's what I needed more than anything. I needed that safety and that sort of that control over my life. And so for me, because it's been so prominent, I feel now that without the eating disorder, I sort of have this void, like this black hole inside of me that, will my life become meaningless? Will it become nothing? Will I just be, laze around and sit and watch TV and just do nothing with my life because I have like this void in me? But I'm starting to realize now that this is certainly not the case, and there is this whole world out there that's just demanding to be lived. And if we continue to just live in the eating disorder and give in to its needs, we're only stopping ourselves from our potential. So you really need to sit with yourself and think, okay, what makes me feel fantastic? Forget about anything to do with food or exercise or any of that. You need to sit with yourself and say, what makes me feel good? So for me, I know that it's the sort of things that I can't do when I'm in the midst of an eating disorder. So it's riding my bike. I can't do that when I'm ill because it's not vigorous energy. I used to call riding a bike sitting with benefits because it wasn't exercise to me. But I love to do that. Nothing makes me happier than riding my bike. Traveling is so prominent in my life, and I've been so fortunate to travel to many places. But it's something that is really difficult when you haven't reached a good stage of recovery, because even things like eating out and sitting on a plane, it's hard to rationalize to yourself, okay, I am going overseas, I'm gonna be sitting down for the next 24 hours. Like, that rings off alarm bells, like, oh my god. But I am so passionate about traveling, and I want to get to a place where that doesn't matter anymore. That means nothing to me. I'm just so excited to go and explore a new city, a new place, that it's irrelevant. I also love speaking French, which is something that I can't really do, and it's something I'm studying at university, but I can't really do a lot because I haven't had the concentration for it. It takes a lot to learn a language. You have to learn grammar and verbs and all those types of things, but you can't do it if you're not nourishing your brain. And that's something I've struggled with a lot recently, which ties into another passion of mine, which is just reading a good book. Something as simple. I've always been a reader, always, but I haven't been able to read properly probably for the past year because I just cannot concentrate, even though I've reached quite a good stage of recovery. So you would think, like, oh, I'm eating well, I'm cutting down exercise, I should be able to do these things. But it just goes to show that even when you think you're at a good stage of recovery, maybe sometimes you still have a little bit of work to go. So it's definitely something I'm working on, And some days, sorry, my laptop just went black. There we go. Some days I do feel on top of the world and like I can do anything, but they're kind of outnumbered at the moment by bad days. But it's something I'm working on every single day, and I will get through this. So that's a bit about passions. I want everyone to find their passions, because you have them. Whether you think you do or you think you don't, you definitely have them. It just takes a little bit of work to work out what you like. And speak to others, you know, find out what other people enjoy, and that might help influence you. You know, and you don't have to stay with these passions forever. They will change. But just find out what you like doing now and focus on that. And, you know, anytime it all gets too much in your brain, just do one of those things and think, I'm going to ride my bike. I don't care if I feel like I should be lifting weights or running, or I'm going to go and ride my bike. Okay. And so the second thing I wanted to talk about is recovery intentions. So I see a lot on Instagram, and I don't want to say any specifics, I don't want to offend anyone, but people say like, oh, I'm recovering for this reason, like to do this, or recovering to run, or recovering to lift, something like that, or recovering for my mum, to make my mum proud. And I feel like if you are setting these intentions, you should just not be recovering at all, basically. Because if you can't recover for yourself, you can't recover. Like, you can't say, I'm solely recovering to make my mum proud, because one day, you know, you can gain the weight, you can challenge your fear foods, and one day your mum will say, you know what, I'm really proud of you. Cool. So you've achieved your goal. What happens after that? You just think, oh, well, okay, what next? So you have to be willing to recover for yourself. You have to wake up and say, today I'm going to do well because I'm doing this for me. Because I believe that I have a better life beyond this and I deserve more. Honestly, if you are not recovering for yourself, you may as well just not be recovering. Just go back to the eating disorder. You need to honestly say to yourself, I am doing this for me and nobody else. Yes, it's fantastic if you're making your parents proud, or if when you gain the weight, you get to go back to a hobby that you loved. But if you're recovering solely so you can go to the gym or eat a certain way, that's not recovering. That's just having an aim and getting to that aim. But the point in recovery is to get back to a normal life. You know, it's not recovering so then, oh, you can lift weights and become a bodybuilder. Like, that's not subjunctive with the way that you want to live. And so for me, I know I'm recovering solely for me, so I can have a normal life, so I can have a career and have a family, and all these things that the eating disorder finds irrelevant in my life, but I find that I want, you know, like, of course I'm recovering so maybe I can go back to the gym, because it's something that's quite nice, but, you know, if I never had to go to the gym again, I'd live with that. I'd find other things to do. But you can't recover just saying, when I recover, I will be able to do this as your motivation, because what next? What comes after that? You need to be, okay, I'm going to recover for me. For me and nobody else, I'm doing this to better my life and not to serve a sort of purpose. Okay, run over. This video is getting long, so I'm going to cut it short. Anyway, I hope you like this video. It's something I've never done before, but I like it. So if you like this, please let me know. And if you have any more topics you'd like me to talk about, please let me know, because I would love to do more of these in the future. Okay, thank you.